world from whichever time zone you're catching me from. My name is MD90 and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss any upload that comes up on the channel. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel, because we put up a lot of content, is head to the playlist and you'll find all various things that we're doing here curated for you based on your interests. So we've got the Kutka podcast, we've got the Tishimi production. These are movies, actually, short movies that you can find on that playlist, and news and trends. We do a lot. We do vlogs. We do a lot on this channel. So the easiest way so that you don't lose yourself, you find that there's a vlog here. The next thing is main news. So for you, if you're interested in vlogs, head to a place. You're interested in a podcast, to a place. You're interested in short movies.
Well, it's been, as of this coming Friday, 5th September 2025, it will mark exactly 3 months since Zambia's former president, Edgar Lungu, died in South Africa last June, 3 months ago. So some people have been appealing just as much as the rest of the nation. So Newsdigger put up an article saying it's time to bring Lungu's remains home and put him to rest with dignity. So next week, Friday, we will mark exactly 3 months since the passing of former President Edgar Lungu. Yet, as things stand today, his remains are still lying in limbo in South Africa, while his family and the Zambian government remain at an impasse over the burial of the burial. Lungu's death was tragic, so that's the article that they've put up there, simply reiterating the point to say Edgar Lungu's remains are supposed to be brought back home. And on the other hand, the Patriotic Front has made an accusation. There's a YouTube channel here on YouTube, which is run by an AI, pretty much an AI-run channel called the Muzungwam Kombon. So according to the Patriotic Front, they allege that that YouTube channel is run from State House. They have not presented any evidence, but according to what the PF put up, say most of the videos that are going on that channel are pretty much disparaging the Lungu family and pretty much presenting Edgar Lungu in the bad light. So then they argue to say, if the government genuinely wants to have talks with the Lungu family, then on what grounds are they still running that YouTube channel? That's if it's the government just running it, allegedly. So there is that going on. And with regard to the talks of Edgar Lungu's remains and his return to Zambia, it seems like they're ongoing. They're being kept private. The official family spokesperson, Makebe Zulu, has not brought up any new information with regard to if the talks have broken down or they are still ongoing. But as things stand, we wait and see to hear an update from either the Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Patrick Chagwa, or from Makebe Zulu, the family spokesperson. So this article that has been pushed by the Patriotic Front could be just one of the admins of the page, alleging to say that YouTube channel run by an AI is run from State House. But we wait and see how the talks go. On the other hand, Bowman Lusambo has been sentenced. He has received another sentencing. So Shifetayari put up an article about Bowman Lusambo. So he says Bowman was messed up by Makebe, referring to Makebe Zulu. If you remember, Makebe Zulu was one of Bowman Lusambo's first lawyers just when his court cases started right after the PF lost the elections in 2021. So he has a number of cases, and right now he's serving a jail sentence, and he's been sentenced for another one. This is a separate one. And and he still has other court cases, so I don't know how that plays out. So the UPND put up this. They say Bulldozer gets another 3 years of being in possession of property whose value exceeds his legal income and earnings. No longer fingers were when you are a public servant. Now you see your life. So there he's simply saying the amount of money that and property that he had was not correlating to the income he was supposed to be receiving as Minister of Lusaka and Minister of the Copperbelt, and then later on also a Member of Parliament for in Indora, the constituency where he was a member of parliament. So they say when you total up his income and his gratuities, it does not correlate with the amount of properties that he has and the value of pretty much the wealth around him. So that's what he's been arrested for. So there, and then Chief Atari goes further to say, "Oh, Bowman Munandi, I can't throw him under the bus. I used to eat with this guy, Pano. But I know you will pull through. I just hope you will leave at least one house for his family." So simply appealing to the government, simply saying if they can leave one house at least where he can keep his children in as much as he's been arrested. So the property that has been seized is the one in Shamba Valley, that beautiful house that he was even boasting about. If you remember the videos of Bowman Lusambo security should have been either just after the PF lost the elections or before they lost the elections in 2021, where he was comparing community house, Akainde Chidema's house at the time in opposition, to say that's a chicken run, and the house that he lives in, Bowman Lusambo, was like a beautiful, well-designed house, pretty much saying you cannot compare this to some of the chicken houses in community houses. So that's the situation with Bowman Lusambo. And then the UPND put up some of the interaction that happened in court. So please exercise leniency as you sentence Mr. Lusambo, because he is a family man with two of his children named after 60th Republican President Edgar Lungu and Esther, respectively, referring to the First Lady, Council Charles Changana, tells the court in mitigation. So that's what the lawyer used as a mitigation, simply saying his kids are named after the former or the late president, Edgar Lungu. So the lenience was supposed to be exercised. That was the litigation. On the other hand, as you may remember, Joseph Malanji was supposed to be sentenced either last week or the week before, but he had health issues, and then the demand by the judge to say he's supposed to present himself to court. So the case was adjourned to this week, and as of a couple of hours ago, it was before court, and the judgment date has been set. So Shifetari just laughed to say, simply saying, these are men. Joseph Malanji arrives at court for judgment. The entire family is with him. So, and then he puts up laughing emojis. It's like Shifetari knows how this verdict is likely to go. So simply says, for him, Shifetari ran away from the country because he wasn't willing to face the consequences of his judgment. And now he laughs it out loud to say, let's wait and see how Joseph Malanji's sentencing goes there. Now that he's back in court. So the UPND say Joseph Bonanza Malanji arrives at the Lusaka Magistrate Court for judgment with his co-accused Fredson Yamba. But the court has adjourned to a later date as court is not sitting. So there is an adjournment with regard to the judgment day for Joseph Malanji. It was supposed to be today, just like Bowman Lusambo. So I'm pretty sure we will get that judgment soon. And there, Chief Atari goes further, appealing for the other person that is standing to Joseph Malanji, simply saying he was an innocent person. But that's not for Chief Atari to determine, that's the court. And then someone in the comment section even advises Chief Atari, simply saying, you are commenting on an active court case. That's a crime. But obviously, Chief Atari does not care, considering he's already run away from his own personal court cases. So he's operating from diaspora. He can comment as he wishes. He feels safe wherever he is. On the other hand, Citizen First President Hari Kalaba this morning met with Moabi Lungu and Max Chungu. The meeting centered on unity of the opposition. So if you remember the past couple of days, Moabi Lungu has been shooting at Hari Kalaba, simply saying he overrates himself compared to how he performs in politics. So and then Max Chungu, that should be like the youth chairperson for Citizen First, has been striking at Moabi Lungu, simply saying he admires Hari Kalaba, and that's why he's pretty much attacking him. And it seems like they've hashed out the differences, and they shook hands, as you can see from that picture that's been shared there. On the other hand, the UPND, same. PF hallucinating if they think they will come back into power. So United Party for National Development, UPND deputy spokesperson Ivan Senkando, who's also Minister of Sports, says it is not only UPND members of parliament who can lose their parliamentary seats next year, arguing that even opposition leaders can. Meanwhile, Nkando says the Patriotic Front PF is hallucinating if it believes that it will return to government next year because citizens have moved on. So that's analysis coming from Ivan Sinkando, simply saying PF is hallucinating if you hold the realms of power again. And so Gravestone TV had put up throwback videos of the interaction that is happening. But one of them that caught my eye was the interaction between GBM and KBF at a funeral service. So let me just play you a video and then you see what happened earlier on. Stand by. Yeah. I found this interaction very, very interesting. That's GBM right there, and Kelvin Fuebo at KBF having an interaction. And the guy behind the camera stands at a distance, starts filming them as they're having an interaction at this particular funeral. And then steps back, he gives the camera that he was holding, and then he decides to talk them into a political conversation. There, he passes on the camera and then he walks up to KBF and GBM. They are trying to say no, they should unite so that the opposition can be strong and whatever. And then KBF strategically here just laughs it off to say, I mean, we're at a funeral. You don't bring such a conversation at a funeral. There, and then he insists to say no, this conversation we had at a funeral. I think he was trying to get some response that he could have used for political leverage of some sort. But it seems like they were wise enough to avoid being baited into having that interaction there, having a light moment there. KBF tells him to say, we're at the funeral. And then he just asks GBM. Obviously, they walk away from that interaction there. And then, but yeah, so that's what's going on. It seems like the opposition is trying to have a united front of some sort. Let's see if that works out. But obviously, all sides are ready. In this case, you could see the UPND has commented on that. And another UPND comment that came through was this PF will disintegrate once a leader is chosen. That's Milopi. So United Party for National Development Alliance chairperson Charles Milopi says the Patriotic Front PF and other principal parties around them are fractious, and we only disintegrate when they choose a leader. On Saturday, former Patriotic Front PF Deputy Secretary General Mumbi Piri said the Patriotic Front could hold a convention 3 days before the general elections and still win. So there, the UPND alliance simply saying In as much as the opposition seem to be reuniting or whatever, once a leader is chosen, then fractions will form and there'll be a breakup that will ensue out after that. That's a prediction coming from the UPND alliance. And then that's in the mass newspaper. Those are some of the news headlines. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. We wait and see how the political landscape plays out. But clearly, we're just like a few months now from elections. We're less than a year now to the general elections in 2026. And everybody, all the members of parliament that were absent in their constituencies have started going back. And let's see if the people will buy into whatever they are saying at this point in time. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.